This week's DRM Not Included on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. We all know that you get free shipping on millions of products with Amazon Prime, but you get a whole lot more. Like free music with Amazon Prime Music, free TV, movies, and documentaries with Amazon Prime Video, free games, and a free Twitch subscription to support the content creator of your choice with Amazon Prime Gaming, plus a whole lot more. We've got links to all of these features and some of our favorites, plus a 30-day free trial, all by going to f5live.tv/prime. Now, I know not everybody's aware of this brand, but it's an interesting story that I feel we need to cover this week. There's a YouTube channel called Miranda Sings. The person behind the channel is Colleen Ballinger. I don't know where Miranda Sings comes from, but I also don't know where Fred came from, because that also wasn't his name. YouTube's a weird place. So Miranda Sings has been a popular-ish YouTube channel for a while, and she's had fans of varying ages. A couple of weeks ago, couple months ago maybe now, some allegations were made against Colleen about inappropriate behavior with fans, particularly fans who were underage. There are screenshots of conversations between her and sometimes very young fans, and they are inappropriate's not the word. I know this word is thrown around a lot lately, but grooming is the phrase that we have seen used most to describe what was going on. Because in addition to, chats on social media, sometimes some texts or messenger conversations, there are also videos of the way she has behaved on stage with people she's pulled up on stage, and they are equally awkward. And so a lot of credence was given to the accusations because people had seen inappropriate behavior. Again, screenshots, videos on stage. Lots of people had experienced this in one way or another. So she disappeared for a while. No new videos, no new social media posts, just kind of gone. Which is not unusual when you're in a situation like this, right? The world is coming after you, whether right or wrong. It's usually best to lay low and see if the heat dies down a little bit. It didn't. And in fact, it seemed to kick up in her digital absence. So, Colleen releases a video that seemed like it was going to be an apology, but it wasn't. In fact, she proved just how much she's not respecting what's happening. They're serious accusations, right or wrong, they're serious accusations, and she's not taking it seriously, and you can tell because she released a comedy song on her ukulele, basically saying, "This is only happening because you're having fun watching me struggle." Now, that's the behavior of a damaged person. That's somebody who's not taking a serious situation seriously. You don't write a comedy song about accusations of grooming children. Right? If it's against you. Yeah. Anthony Jeselnik might write a song about her, but that's a different situation, right? That's his way of dealing with trauma. This is a very serious situation that she's not taking seriously. And so lots of people responded. I saw on political shows, serious political, cultural discussion shows on both sides of the aisle, people discussing this story because it was a big deal. And it was a stupid video. So she went quiet again for a little while. This happened 2 weeks ago or so, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Since then, she's mostly been quiet again until this creepy not apology this is all your fault video song got posted to Apple Music. And now, with it on Apple Music, she's using it to issue DMCA takedowns on videos critiquing her video. Which, of course, if you've done any content creation, you know that's a false DMCA takedown, and it will come back as a strike against her, not against the content creators if they fight it. But it's not the first time we've seen this, right? Where somebody or a company does something really stupid, there's critique, they try to use DMCA to take it down. Nikola, right? The electric semi-truck company. We talked about this year and a half, 2 years ago. They were trying to issue takedowns on YouTube channels that had critiqued the video that was like, no, look, see? It's not working, it's just going down a hill. And they got in tons of trouble with YouTube for doing it. I suspect that's what's going to happen here. So much so that she has canceled the whole rest of her tour. There were 19, I think, stops that were still left. No, 11 stops that were still left. She's canceled it. She's done. Whoop! I don't want to be in public because I did something stupid. I got caught. Whether it was on purpose or not, she's kind of claiming that it's innocuous. You're misunderstanding. You're trying to put intent behind something that's not a big deal. So, on purpose or not, you did something stupid. You got caught. You responded with something almost as stupid. Time to go into hiding. I think that's what's happening here, and I don't know that it's an inappropriate thing to just like vanish for a little while, possibly permanently. Probably the best move at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like this public shaming is deserved because you don't do that, or even appear to do that any kind of inappropriate talk with young people. It's just really, it's even if you don't mean anything by it, it's a very bad look in 2023. So,
and then as soon as it's discovered, even if you were innocent, even if all of the conversation was intended to be innocent, whatever, you get called out on it, the reaction is not a comedy video. It's not an angry comedy ukulele song.
By the way, I just want to say for the audience benefit, because I really don't know I haven't read up on this, so I don't know exactly what she texted them or who they were. So, but I will say as a parent, first of all, I don't want my kids interacting with weird people from the internet, no matter who they are.
Yep.
But second of all, there's a lot of like policing of what your kids do and don't learn and do and don't say these days, especially by like other parents. So like you cannot, I don't know, like obviously she's not their parent, which is good. But like as a parent, I say like I, even with my own children, I cannot, not that I would have I cannot say a bad word in front of them. I cannot say, because if I do and then they go to school and repeat it, then I will be in trouble, right? Yep. So, you have to be really careful what you say to and around children. And,
True.
It's very, if you get a reputation for having said or done inappropriate stuff, like that's real bad. So I mean, I don't know what she could have done to solve her problem, like after she initially got busted for this.
Yeah,
but it sounds like she made it a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure. I think if she'd come out and said, I was interacting with fans, I didn't really think about what was happening. You're right. From the outside looking in, this doesn't look great. Let me explain. Right? I'm naive. I was trying to please fans. I wasn't thinking about the fact that they could be 13, right? And then
Right.
I'm going to go think about stuff and figure out how to change my behavior. I'm going to go away for a while, right? It's an admission of having made a mistake. It's, but just vanishing for a little while and then coming back and going, this is only happening because you're enjoying me suffer. Whoa, nope. Bad idea. Worst possible response. I mean, the worst possible response is coming out and like saying, no, I did it. Everything's good. Ha ha ha. But the only thing I think that comes in below that is, right below that is coming out and going, no, see? No, it's your fault. Oof. Weird.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. There's too many people who make everything about, like, if they've made a mistake, they make it about them. Self-pity, self-pity is a bad look.
And that's 100% what this is. The song is creepy. Is the only way I can really put it. I've heard the whole thing. It's creepy. Even if you don't know the context behind what happened, you could, like, you listen to it, and all you can think is, this is a damaged person. Something has gone wrong with this person. But obviously, by the time I heard it, I knew I had been following this for a while. I've just been trying to keep it off the show, but I think it's gotten to the point where, we talk about this, personal privacy, personal safety, and then the safety of your kids, right? This is one of those cases where something that looks innocuous on the surface was creepy and dangerous underneath. It's like the Smash Brothers thing where there were a whole bunch of players that either got arrested or got in a lot of trouble for interacting with people who were too young. It's Smash Brothers. How could it possibly be dangerous? It's a Nintendo game. Oh, that's how it becomes dangerous. Oh, it's a girl who sings silly songs on the internet. How could it possibly be dangerous? Well, because YouTube used to have the ability to message creators. Which, by the way, I'm glad that feature's gone. I made some friends that way, but I'm glad that feature's gone. But now it's just as easy to go to Twitter and message them, or to Instagram and message them, and they can reply. And it's hard to know that that's happening, right? So,
right.
You gotta be careful with who you're interacting with and who you're allowing children to interact with. Locked devices and things like that are going to be your best friend on stuff like that,
Yep.
Don't let their device get into Twitter or Instagram or whatever. It stays locked into YouTube or whatever, so that this kind of thing doesn't happen, especially when they're really young. So it's hard to police, right, Abram? Yeah, I mean, you've got a kid in that age range.
Yep, I do. Well, I mean, I have two kids, and one of them is too young to really use the internet at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, although not too young to use a tablet, but too young to use the internet at all. And the other one, he's online, and we have discussions about like what he can and can't do, and he's pretty good about like following rules, rules like that. But yeah, I mean, it's scary, all the people that are out there and wanting to interact with kids. And what always shocks me is all the kids that are his age and younger that are playing like online games where they're interacting with strangers as part of the game. Yeah. Like I myself am creeped out by interacting with strangers as part of the game, and I'm not a minor.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, if you're online, um, if you are a content creator online and you get messages from kids, your best bet is to either not respond to them or have a very kid-friendly response, because you should assume. Uh, Here's a little tip to anyone who is, being kind of a personality online, right? Like, assume that anything that you write to a reader, viewer, whatever, fan, in private will be public,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Assume that if somebody annoys you and you're like, oh, I just want to tell them where to stick it,
Mm-hmm.
like, don't do it, because assume it will be made public.
Yeah.
If if you want to, if you think you're being cool telling a funny, a funny joke that's like off color or whatever, like, don't do it, because
Yep.
it will be made public, right? Like,
I
assume
always I
that.
always say if you wouldn't post it in a public, like on your Twitter feed, if you wouldn't post it publicly there, don't say it privately there either. And
Yeah,
and
exactly.
as the chat says, the internet is forever. Indeed it
Yes,
is.
right.
And private is not private.
Exactly.
And
So,
encrypted is only as good as screenshots.
right, right, exactly. So, to make a long story short, yeah, like, this person was pretty foolish. Um, they've really, hurt their reputation,
Mm-hmm.
and they, this could be a really big problem for them if they need to make money anytime soon,
Yeah.
because if this was their main source of income, um,
Yeah.
plus, if they were now going for a job somewhere, this probably would come up and not be in their favor either. So, it's one has to be really careful with one's reputation.
Exactly. Because, with this hanging over your head, you may not be able to get a job at McDonald's. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's
one
right.
of the things, like, so obviously at Amrock and at Strike we have lots of interactions with kids, right? It's what we do. And so on our online stuff we have policies. In person, nobody is ever alone. No adult is ever alone with a kid. There's always at least two. And in fact, it's one of the things that Clinton, who said the internet is forever, we've got people out at Amrock for the next couple of weeks. So, like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays for his event, I'm going to be there too. Or Chris is going to be there. The person who's usually there with him is not going to be available. So he and I are going to team up or whatever. So there's always at least two people. And then online, we don't, like, we've got Slack with Amrock and we've got Discord with Strike, and except for the staff, there are no private chats. None at all. Everything's always in a group chat. It's always in a channel. There's nothing is private. Everything is out in the open for these reasons, so that you can't be in a situation where you're like, well, I said that in private. Yeah, but screenshots, right? We make it so it's always public, so people are always thinking about what they're going to say, and I think they're great policies. Terry started this 10 plus years ago, and we've carried it through all of our programs, and it's a great policy, and I live my life the same way with Terry's policies. I try not to do anything in, like, private chat unless it's an adult that I know. You and I, private chat all the time. Very different situation.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You got to be very careful what you say to strangers of any age.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it all comes down to both the creator and the user be careful with what you're doing online. Assume everything is public and just think about what you say before you say it. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.